like I said, I never retire. We just transition for the next phase. So when I literally walk away from the MMA and UFC, and like when we are sitting down, me and my wife, my family, and say, what's next? And sign with Lloyd. We're looking to literally do something that people would like to see. And when you explore options, what I did for the sports, I was looking for something that would drive my passion again. I was not competing with passion. It just was not there. And I really learned to reinventing myself so many times in my life. So I think I become an expert of reinventing myself. So I guess this is the last time. So I'm having a joy of my life, and since 2017, me and my wife, we're developing a system called Belfort Fitness Lifestyle. Is where I like to do fitness in a way that I can do with my family, with people. So there, it's a 1 hour class, and I get to work out with regular people and be able to transform my lifestyle. So I believe the life of an athlete, a life of anybody, you gotta create habits, sustainable habits that you do daily. And when you're talking about physical, emotion, and the mental and the spiritual aspect, is we are consuming content all the time. And I felt like I gotta do something that I can be part of it. So I developed that. So it's like a class, like half of the class is in the bag and half of the class on the floor. It's all the knowledge that I understand about being fit. I said, I want to do that, and I want to stay fit, and when the opportunity arises, we'll be ready. And like I said, opportunity is here right now, so I'm very excited.
Perfect. Gentlemen, go ahead.
Yeah, Vitor, 4 years ago you talked about having a League of Legends when you were still with the UFC. What are your thoughts on Triller now that the league has basically come to fruition?
I think literally when we look into the world, and we think we got there, and then Amazon comes up, and then internet comes up, and then Tesla comes up, and that's what I think Triller is on the path of literally creating this, not just League of Legends in the total. So now it's all about generation. So Triller is putting generation together in a room, and that's been my dream. How can I do something and I can include in my kids, my grandkids? That's the dream of a grandfather. So Triller is creating a content that is pleasing the grandkid, the generation are together. They will be able to come and experience not just fighting, not just legends, not just amazing boxers, but amazing musicians, and the whole lighting, expecting of the filming, the people there. They are recognizable in their arena. So I think they are creating a phenomenal League of Legends. And I'm very excited to be part of it.
Vitor, you're facing the real Tarzan. Not a professional fighter, but these kinds of events, they've been doing numbers, as well as some people, they haven't liked it. Mayweather, Logan Paul, or Jake Paul fighting. What are your thoughts on all this? Is it good for combat sports, or not as much, or what do you think?
When the Phenom come, my entertaining is to come and fight and looking for a knockout. I hold the most record knockout in UFC history until today. So that's what I'm coming from. We are supposed to fight Holyfield. His team say yes, but I think he wasn't ready. And looked like this fight would be happening in August. So whoever's in the B side, we are ready. So that's a competition. I cannot wait to be presenting myself in this boxing, where it's supposed to be a long time ago, and I could not do both sports, and now I'm able to literally live on my dream.
Yeah, how excited are you to get back in the boxing ring and compete in a fight?
I'm so excited. So when I have 19 years old, they offer me. They create Al Stanky was my trainer back then, as a very legendary coach, and we used to live in LA. They talked to my mom. My mom didn't speak English, but they set up a surprise for me after beating Tank Abbott. And the surprise, they're gonna present me a contract, was a millionaire contract. They wanted me to become boxer and leave UFC. And they brought Muhammad Ali into my room, coming outside of the door like jabbing, ha, ha. And I remember sitting, having lunch with him, nobody on the road, it's just us. It's like a mafia type of thing. and I was just like a little kid asking him questions. He had his photographer friend kind of helping him understanding what he was talking. And I was just asking him a bunch of questions, you know, curiosity of a kid, you know. And he is there, so, and then all of a sudden my mom presented me a contract. Hey, this is a contract, you want to become millionaire? I say yes. I say, where's the money? You brought the money here? No, this. So I was very straightforward, and I say, what do you want me to do? What says in the contract? You know, how much percent, how much I'm getting? And so I kind of understand, but the way it was written, the contract was like, I have to leave my passion. And I said, if I cannot do both, I don't want to do it. I'm not here for the money. I'm here because I left Brazil when I was 8th grade, coming to America, said, promising me that I'll make MMA one of the biggest sport in the world, and I did, and I just felt like it wasn't right to live my passion. But guess what? A couple of years later, here I am, transition to boxing, and opportunities are endless with Triller. So I'm very, very excited.
How do you see this fight playing out Saturday night?
You buy what pay-per-view, don't miss it. You're about to see the Phenom back.
Do you think people will be impressed with your boxing skills, since you're not an MMA guy who's trying this in your 30s or 40s? Is something you've done as a teenager?
You know what? Like, I'm not impressing anyone. I'm there just to do my thing. My way of fighting is like I live my habits, and I live it daily. And when the lights comes on, it's a revealing of your character, of your skills, and that's what I do. And I'm gonna do my best for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. And let's come and let's ride this wave together.
Do you have any thoughts on that potential Holyfield fight? Do you think that'll be a great fight?
I think this is the greatest fight ever. Thinking about, you know, you're crossing both sports, and I call the boxing martial arts. They call boxing. The way I study boxing is totally different than they are study boxing. So I have to study boxing to apply in my toolbox. Thinking about, you're an MMA fighter, and I was 18 years old. I made my debut at 19 years old. They expect me to grapple, and I use my hands. So I've been in boxing gyms my whole life, since I was 13 years old. So boxing and jiu-jitsu was my martial arts. And I knew if I develop my hands and I have my grapple, so a fight start not hugging each other, am I right? You fight, you start, I remember when I was a kid, they say, Victor, you start from far away. So you have to become a sniper before you become a hugger. So, and I like action. I think we all like actions. And I mean, I understand the grapplers take my hats off. It's a very tough job to be, but I always told my mom and my dad, I don't like to hug men. So, you know, I want to hug one woman for the rest of my life, and she is my wife. And when I'm going to the fight, I go just to put my skills out, and I think that's what people like, you know, about the Phenom.
Are there any boxers you appreciated following over these years while you were competing in MMA?
You know, I was of course, they call me the Tyson of MMA, the youngest champion ever with knockout. You know, I go and knock people out. So Tyson was kind of, but I always like the whole thing of boxing. You know, the way they are treating as an athlete, the way they making the money, and the way they are proceeding their career, I remember when I was fighting Tank Abbott, the same year was Holyfield and Tyson. Both guys are making $30 million each, and I was making $50,000 if I win. And we'd be able to make that transition, this major sport. And I guess MMA now looks like it's bigger than boxing, but now Triller's coming, putting this event. Now Triller is becoming, you know, the new type of event, the new type of, like I said, putting generations. We're talking about generation. You have, you know, teenagers watching the same. Before fight, no, you have to drop your kids. I'm going to see this fight. You cannot come.
Right.
And I mean, I know they're trying to break down to this, but this is more they have the aspect of the sport, but that is not too violent. But it's very dynamic. It's very understandable, and I think I never like to watch that bleeding like a bath blood. These fighters. And that's something that MMA they will never be able to kind of match and understand. It's a very tough sport. It's very durable. We got to be very durable, but they never went to this way of like, okay, how can we make it last? I never like to see the blood. I always like to see the sport, fighting with the shoes. Oh my God, you can involve, brands, and that's what makes the big money pay. Talk about big sponsorships. So it's the glamour and the whole thing, the arena, the action, the shows, the rock stars, the rappers. So for me, this is not the future, it's the present.
Speaking of money, of course, what are your thoughts, Vitor, on basically, everyone in agreement that mixed martial artists are underpaid, and some of these guys, they come to boxing and they make more money than they ever did